if you've ever modernized an AK, but the stock version was still better, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, guys. Today we're talking about the AKX gas blowback by Tokyo Marui and giving my first impressions on it because I finally fielded it at Black Fox a few weeks ago and I wanted to give my first impressions on it. So we're gonna throw some gameplay up here, unedited as usual, and let's get right into it. So the AKX gas blowback. I use this thing mainly stock. The only thing we changed out was the barrel and bucking. So I thought it'd be cool to start there. So this has pristine accuracy since we've upgraded it to the 200mm tight bore barrel and the Lilacs purple bucking, 9-ball bucking. It's been great. It beams 25 meters, no issue, and it was just a super fun time. Did way better than my MWS, which was having issues actually with the same configuration, but we're getting that fixed. Boy Pass is fixing that, but this thing was great. I want to talk about the shooting response really quick. Is that it was a little sluggish, I would say, because we actually changed out the recoil spring to a 120%. So why did we do that? It's not because I wanted more recoil. I usually don't like to touch those things because it does ruin the gas efficiency. But we did it because we were having issues with the dust cover. You can see the video, whatever, up there, and you can see the whole issue on that. The dust cover, basically the bolt would get stuck and you wouldn't cycle. So having a stronger spring was able to put this thing into battery, and also loosening the trunnion was also able to alleviate that. But as a result of that, I found the performance to be consistent, very consistent, but like sluggish because of the duster gas, and it's not in the green gas system where it kind of just like overdrives this thing, and I hear it feels very amazing on the green gas, but because you have duster gas and because of even the white gas coming with 10% less power, I feel like this thing is gonna chug a little bit. So I'm keeping that recoil spring just in case. Hopefully in this humidity it doesn't rust. But for now we have the 120 on there until we can kind of figure out the optimization of this thing. But yeah, so performance wise, very accurate, very consistent, and no gas purges or jams, except one time where that issue I was talking about where the bolt doesn't go into battery, that happened once. And I think it was because I was shooting it weird or something like that. I don't know what happened, but it happened to me once. All I had to do was take it out, recharge the handle, and it was fine from there. Loosen the trunnion by 1, and it was fine. I never had issues there. But yeah, I will also say that the thing eats up gas like crazy because of that new recoil spring. I was just going through gas like crazy, boys. But no purges like the MWS, so that was good on that. Let's talk about the magazine for a second. So we have the MWS style, I guess, AK magazine. So this is the Bakelite version, and I gotta tell you right now, I know it has nothing to do with performance. I was able to get like 2 mags out of this, but I gotta tell you, look at the damage here. There's a lot of cosmetic damage that happens very quickly with this magazine, and the black mags don't even do that. It's just this one. So that's a little bit disappointing, but it's also kind of cool, I guess. Just putting it in tacos and stuff like that will kind of damage the thing, so that kind of sucked. On my 5.56 rig, I was actually able to fit my mags, except for the taco. The taco on my belt could barely fit this thing, so I found myself just underhanding and not having a good time reloading that. So yeah, anyway, that's the performance of the internals. Now let's talk about the actual ergonomics, I guess. This isn't the exact setup I had. I had a different tracer on. I had the Flame Cube BT on there, which is a lot lighter, a lot shorter. I just had this on for now because I think this is the new setup I'm going for. I also didn't have the Commando foregrip. We just had the regular thing like that. I will tell you right now that the AK in actual in actual practical use is heavy, bro. It is a heavy little airsoft toy. Very front heavy. I found myself actually putting the gun down like this a lot, putting it in super low ready or low port. I wasn't really able to like keep it up like I could with my MWS, my XM4, which is like 10 times lighter. That thing I could just hold up all day like an FPS, but this I have to really just kind of pick my shots. The ADS is a lot slower as well. So I found that with this current build, even though this AK is meant for CQB, given its very short length, it doesn't really fit that bill, if that makes any sense. And it's not because I don't like work out or whatever, like, work out. Anyway, it's just that it is just heavy, and the balance of it is just very front heavy, even without the suppressor. So that is kind of an issue. The mag also kind of brings down the weight as well. So this is kind of a hefty boy. So I found myself just really, you know, doing a lot of shoulder stocking, doing a lot of high ready, doing a lot of this actually, and doing a lot of just point shooting because I couldn't really see and I couldn't really keep the gun up that long. And I think that's an issue with mobility. And yeah, that's just kind of one feedback I have on this thing. And it has nothing to do with the gun. It just has to do with the way it's made, I guess. So that kind of just, it's a little bit of a bummer. But had a good time with that. No flashlight on here actually because I like to use the tracer. The tracer has the flash on it anyway, and it kind of does its job for me, so I don't need to use a flashlight. And I'm trying to experiment with the Commando foregrip right now. I kind of lost the little nub that you don't need here. I kind of don't like the finger grip, but I don't know where that little nub is, the flat version. So it's actually quite nice. Very easy to grip, I will say. Very easy to grip. I probably would get like a little shorty, just so it doesn't get in the way of the mag. The Commando foregrip doesn't get in the way of the mag, right? So that's actually quite nice. Yeah. So another thing about ergonomics is I really like the safety. In CQB though, recently I haven't really been doing on and off safety unless it's an AR-15, but this actually does really well. Very, very nice, very, very fast. And I had no issues with this. I like this because it's from the AK Storm. It's really nice. The mag catch, in practicality, I never used the trigger, like this part, I never used it. But I did use this, just like that. So that was fine, and that was great. Let's talk about the optics. So being a gas blowback, you gotta have like a pretty good optic, right? And honestly, sponsored, not sponsored, the Maverick Vector Optics Maverick 2 was able to handle the recoil and hold the zero the entire time. It was great, it was fantastic. And I had no issues with this. And it also has an absolute co-witness or a lower third. Not quite sure, this one's kind of weird. But it was really good and it was really nice. But I will say, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just the way I shoulder AKs or the way I'm so used to using AKs is when I go for the naturally for the shoulder, I'm like this, right? And I'm right on looking on the iron side already. Just the way that it's designed. Like I'm just looking at the iron. So it took me a while to kind of get used to not going in all the way and just like trying to find that dot. So there's gonna be a lot of times where I'm like this and I'm super close to it and I wasn't even looking at the dot, or I couldn't find the dot because the way I had it positioned before was like over here or something. So like I couldn't actually find the dot and I was like screwed. So I think it's gonna take some experimentation of figuring out where I wanna put it. I kind of feel the opportunity cost or sunk cost fallacy that because I have all this rail space, I wanna put it here. But I also want to maybe make this just a lower mount. The only issue that I see with that is depending on how things play out, whether or not I use this outdoor or not, I want to put my run cam on here. So in order to have that, I need to have this on a riser. So I'm keeping it like this for now, but maybe just a bigger window, maybe like an EOTech or something might be better. But I think it's just gonna take training, to be honest with you, and just to learn how to do it. It was the first time I was using it, so that's that. What else? The grip was really nice, very grippy, had no issues, way better than the AKM, is very nice. I want to talk about the stock though. The stock, I remember my very first game playing this, I was actually using this thing stockless because I was caught in a little tight corner, like immediately off the bat. And I couldn't really like peek the guy. So I was like, damn it, I have to like do this and just kind of hold it like this or hold it like a pistol or something like that. So in CQB, this actually works quite well. And you can imagine it without the suppressor. It's actually quite short. It's almost like a handgun. But it's very nice and intuitive. And it's actually great for bringing it to the field too. I bring everything in a suitcase. So I don't have to like get a big gun bag. I just like fold this up and I can bring it anywhere. So that's what I like about this stock. It was sturdy, there was no play, and it did a really good job. And it was very lightweight and I was able to easily switch, no issue. Had this running on a 2-point sling because of this QD. So that was a nice addition. I don't have one right now, but I borrowed Defro's and we were able to just like have a 2-point sling there. So it was nice to actually put the rifle down and switch to different things, unlike my XM4, which is on a single right now. So that was that. But honestly, guys, I had a lot of fun with this thing. And I think it's a solid addition, and I think it's worth it for indoor. ironically, because outdoor, I know it's kind of already at the end of the season, so I won't be able to test it till next year how its outdoor performance actually is. But from what I had, my impressions are pretty good. It was more reliable. I knew I can count on it. It just has, I haven't used an AK in a while in CQB. I think the last time I used an AK in CQB was like 2 years ago. So I have to get used to getting around corners and working with this thing and training with this AK as we move forward. Possible upgrades from here are honestly nothing. Maybe, I don't know, just playing around with the recoil springs and making that better. But honestly, this thing is great. It has good accuracy. It can actually lift now. And that's basically it. Anyways, guys, that's all I gotta say. If you hope you enjoyed this gameplay, I'm gonna be probably putting the raw version of it for channel members, $1 channel members and up. And you guys get to see the actual gameplay of it and everything. We also have the XM4 gameplay I'm still working on. I'm actually like super busy these days. Don't really have time for the soft air ball cringe, but it's been fun and I really appreciate your support, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video and I'll see you all. Have a nice day. That was Near Cinema.